Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Viraj and today we guys are going to discuss about a init method in Python. Init is nothing but the constructor. So then what is a constructor? Constructor is a special method which is get called as soon as we create an object from particular class. So why we require a constructor? So constructor will set some parameter or set some attributes while creation of object. These attributes we can use anywhere in the class. So we will see that in a practical implementation. By default, every class has a init method. This init method will have a 0 arguments. So even though you are not defining it, it will still available. And even we can explicitly define a init method. So let's see the example. So I'm having a class calc which doesn't have anything like not an attribute, not a method, nothing. It is an empty class. C1 is an object of a calc and I am doing a dir C1. So dir is a built-in function which is going to print all the attribute or method associated with the C1. So indirectly it will point to the calc and calc is having all these attribute and methods. So we can see the double underscore at a start and end, that is called a dunder method or a special methods. So we can see that we are having a init. We are having a init. Init is a special method. So right now the calc is not having anything, still internally it has. So we can say that, so whenever we create any class, by default it has an init method with the 0 parameter. The way we can use a init explicitly, we can define a class calc def init, and this init has a 2 parameter, num1 and num2. On a next line, self.num1 equal to num1, self.num2 equal to num2. What is this? We are setting a current object with the num1 and num2, so we can use this num1 and num2 in anywhere in the particular class or child class. Right now we are talking about only calc. So same self.num and self.num2 we are using in a add. Add is a method. So C1 is a object, calc 10, 20. So 10 will going to point to the 10, so num1 and 20 will going to point to the num2. So this init method is automatically get called as soon as we create an object. So C1 is an object, so at this time once the object is get created, this init method will going to get called. And it will set the two things for a num1 10 and for a num2 20. So when we are doing a C1 dot add method, so when we are calling this method, it will just simply take a 10 plus 20 and returning the value as a 30. So let's see the practical implementation of this. So init method. Okay. So class calc, and I will just say that empty class which doesn't have anything. C1 calc. This is how we create an object. Print dir C1. So we can see that these many attributes or methods are available, or dunder method or special methods are available. So we can see that init is also there. Init is also there. So by default every class has a init. So as soon as the object creation happens, init will get called internally. We can see the example number 2 where we are explicitly defining a init method. So class calc def init self num1 comma num2 self num1 equal to num1 self num2 equal to num2 def add self return self dot num1 plus self dot num2. C1 equal to calc. If I'm not passing any parameter, so what will happen? So what we discussed, C1 equal to calc, at this moment it will call the init method and it accept 2 parameters. So this will going to throw an error. So we can see that missing 2 required positional argument num1 and num2. So we can say that C1 equal to calc 10 comma 20 C1 dot, we can do the num1 C1 dot num2, even we can do the print dir C1. So now we can see that add num1 num2, here we don't have anything, because it was empty. Now as soon as I do the something like C1 dot add, I will get a output as a 30. So this is how we can use a init for setting some value at a class level. That's it for this video guys. See you in a next.